Have you guys seen the discourse about Nosferatu and the theming of like use versus sexual desire and the way in which it's meant to be a reflection of the repression of sexual desire and people arguing over whether or not the lady actually likes the count? That movie is fucking weird. I mean, I don't know if it's weird necessarily. No spoilers. It is a remake of a 100-year-old movie almost, and that is a ripoff of the original Dracula book. It's like the most. It's very old, older than the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, yeah, but it's different. Well, I'm not. I'm not really spoiling the plot of the movie, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure artistically it's very good, but the mixing of sex and violence was not for me. I mean, I think that was the crux of it, kinda. But you know, I feel like that was the Nosferatu was great, but it was rapey. Yeah, but that was like the point, right? I mean, that's kind of the reason why I'm curious to see like people talking about it, because the ability to parse what's being said there is pretty important. I'm sure the movie wasn't endorsing it, right? No, I don't think the movie was endorsing it. The trailer just looked really violent. I go outside. The trailer. I saw the movie with my parents. It was so uncomfortable. Okay, well, yeah, I probably wouldn't want to watch Nosferatu with my folks. I feel there are some scenes in there that I wouldn't want to watch next to my parents. I feel if I did, I mean, I'd live, you know, but I wouldn't want to. Yeah, you can't really separate sex and violence from a vampire story. I feel. Yeah, it's kind of in on it. Really, though, it's not just about rape, right? I saw people writing up on this. Again, like, I'm talking about the movie. It's literally over a century old, so go watch it. It's a really good film. It's a masterpiece, genuinely. A lot of people were arguing over whether or not I'm horrible. I'm actually blanking on the name of the lady. The only name I remember is Count Orlok, you know? Ellen. There we go. Thank you. Ellen Hutter. Name a woman challenge failed. Yeah, I know. People were arguing over whether or not she actually desired Count Orlok. To which I feel like the obvious read, or maybe not obvious, I guess, but like the read has to be that she did, and that he's meant to be like representative of her darker half, or like her repressed sexual urges, you know? But that doesn't mean that she likes him. Isn't that like because you're talking about like, I don't know, what is it, like 1830s Germany? The high level of sexual repression of the women there. And I mean, it kind of relates to a lot of problems that continue to this day. Yeah, yeah, she did, and she was ashamed of it. That was kind of the point, right? Like the reason why she was ashamed of her association with Count Orlok wasn't just because she had associated with him, but was because she still desired him. And that was the her like suppression of that desire, along with her current husband's like kind of playing it off, or you've grown past this, or you're better than this, or whatever. You know, I mean, that's the dynamic. That's the thing that's being explored, right? The movie itself explains it really well with symbols of her being naturally vulnerable to carnality, and therefore more enticed towards the monster who praises that nature in her. Yeah, because he's meant to be like reflective of, or a reification of the desires that she has, but she feels ashamed of them, you know? I mean, the literal text is he's a vampire, but that's obviously like, you know, the subtext there more about that repressed sexual desire than it is about sexual violence, which is the sexual violence isn't the subtext, it's the text, right? The subtext is about the underlying desire. She once did, but he had her groomed kind of also. Well, yeah, I feel like any relationship between Count Orlok and a human would necessarily have to be grooming, right? Like it's Count, he's like a god. It's just, but if you haven't seen Nosferatu, Count Orlok the vampire isn't so much like a powerful guy as he is a metaphysical representation of death itself. You should watch it. Yeah, it's peak. But he's like not really engageable as like a person would be. So they upped his power level from the original. I haven't seen the original. Yeah, he's very spooky. I think The Witch was better in terms of Robert Eggers' horror. I haven't seen The Witch. How was the main cast performances? I thought everyone performed really, really, really well there. How does Nosferatu compare to The Lighthouse for you? Dude, I don't know. They're both Kino. That's like really tough. There are things about each that I think are better. The main thing for me, I guess, is that like my favorite parts of The Lighthouse were just when Robert Pattinson and Defoe were just like sitting together talking to each other, you know? And there was a lot of other stuff I was less interested in. Like I was less interested in the long lingering shots of like wondering what Defoe's character was doing with the light at the top of the lighthouse or whatever. Like I get it. I know it's an eldritch thing. Yeah, I get it. Sex violence. I wanted to see them be gay with each other, you know? It's great. Fortnite. Yeah. I saw that too. Lighthouse was a better art movie. Nosferatu as a movie. I mean, Nosferatu has more like broad appeal. Apparently, it cost less than 50 million to make. I did not feel that watching it. I did not feel that at all watching it. You know, it looked good. Dude is insane with his budget and skill. It's artistic vision, because when you're having everything be done like after filming's done, you leave everything up to green screen and like post-processing, you know, people fixing everything in post or whatever. Like the shit, like it balloons. If you have a consistent artistic vision from day one, you know, you can get away with a much smaller budget. It was shot on film. It's a real movie. No, I know. I mean, there's CG, of course. But I mean, but like, yeah. Eggers is really good at keeping the budget low for his movies. He's kind of on a generational streak, isn't he? Witch, Northman, Lighthouse, Nosferatu. Like, where's the coal? Man keeps pulling up gems. I'm getting suspicious here. You know, what devil's bargain did he take? I'm the same way with Nolan. I'm not the same way with Nolan. Have you seen all of his films? No. That's okay. I like that attitude. I agree. It is okay for us to disagree. Is The Northman horror? Because if it's not, I don't want to see it, lol. I don't understand your mind. Denis Villeneuve is comparable in quality streak. Yeah, but even then, I feel like, I don't know. Not to shit on Villeneuve at all, because he rules. Does anyone else feel like Eggers' work is more proletarian? Where am I coming at? I'm not like a cinema nerd. Like, when Villeneuve drops something, I feel like it's really good, but he's still working with the department. And oftentimes with Eggers, I feel like they just let him cook on his own. I don't know. I'm not structuring this well. I like them both a lot. I like them both a lot. No hate. More of an auteur? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Eggers feels like a bit more of an auteur, I feel. In like a good way. Denis Villeneuve? Villeneuve. I don't think either of them are pretentious. To be clear, I don't think either of them are pretentious. I don't even know what pretentious means anymore. Whatever.